Hello, my beloved life leaders. This is Jenny Jackson once more. And in this video, we're going to talk about something quite interesting. And it happens to every single one of us. We're talking about loneliness. And we think that we are alone. Now, before diving into the whole topic, we're going to hit that intro. And in the meantime, you can comment below the different things that you have experienced feeling alone. Okay? So we'll be right back. Welcome back. So hope you enjoy the intro. And we will be talking specifically about you're not alone. And this happens to every single one of us, depending on where we are in life, depending on the different things that we're doing. There might be moments when we feel that we're doing all of this by ourselves and we are completely alone, especially being an entrepreneur. It happens a lot. You may find yourself alone, but it doesn't mean that you are alone. There are certain things you need to do by yourself, but that is also part of growth. And if you don't know how to manage it, it can be also dangerous. Because if you're a lonely bird and you don't have people there to help you, you can get overwhelmed, depressed, angry. So you need to have a balance between the things you're doing and know when to delegate this to other people, things that you are not doing that others can be able to do so that you can focus on your main goal or what you are good at. So as humans, we are social creatures. And when it comes to development, we need to have a support group that will contribute to our results, especially when it comes to obstacles. Unfortunately, many people decide to retrieve because of many factors, such as shame, pride, or what others might think about them or think about you, building up more pain, anxiety, anger. The truth is that others have gone through the same experience or even worse and can relate, but most importantly, are willing to share their experiences too. And the way to do that is to try reaching out to your most secure network for support. And you will feel better. This one alone has been an obstacle for many people. And you will feel vulnerable when reaching out to others. It's normal. But that will make you stronger. Once you have released those emotions that have blurred your thoughts and distracted you from your main objectives. Ask for help because there are many people that are longing to help others. As long as you are open up and willing to take that step forward. So you need to open up first. And once you do that, the rest of the world is going to open up to you. Now, for this is a step that you can start taking into consideration. And it's starting to drizzle. So if you hear some drops in the background, it's rain that it's about to start. Set up objectives. These are two forces that works together because you cannot have goals without overcoming constant obstacles to obtain them. Many people set up very general, vague goals and don't have a beginning or an end to them, having a high chance of failing because they cannot monitor the progress in time for any type of calibration in the future to make it better. Because remember, you need to calibrate your goals. If something is not working, you need to tune it up, just like everything else. And this is, in this particular case, you will use a known method to set up your objectives. And we're going to call it the SMART method. And it stands for specificity, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timing. So let me repeat it. SMART method is specificity, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timing. So specificity. Specificity is something that the universal laws loves. For example, the law of vibration and the law of attraction works better when you are specific in what you want to obtain in life. It is not the same to say I want to earn lots of money than to say I want to make $10,000. You have a target to go after. But if you say lots of money, what does lots of money look like? So the laws of the universe will not help you. Will be banging around, thinking, okay, we're not thinking, but you know what I mean. Trying to get or to hit the target of a goal that doesn't exist. It's not there. It's not measurable. So start by setting that specific target. That is the word. That's why specificity is so important, especially when you're setting up goals. So if you start setting up goals and see that you don't have a specific target to hit, then remember you can calibrate it. And once you tune it up, it's going to start going into the right direction. Now, measurable, which is the second method for the SMART method. Using the previous example, you will know if you can earn $10,000 by setting the correct steps. But earning lots of money doesn't sound too attractive because you cannot determine its progress in time or how much lots of money means. And what does that look like? You can't go to the bank and say to the teller, hey, I need to cash a check with lots of money in it. Because the first thing they're going to say to you, okay, sir, or ma'am, or whatever, for me to help you, I need you to put a number for me to be able to assist you. Now, it's putting you in a confusing state of mind from the get-go. And I've seen this a lot. And I had clients that started that way. And the first thing they say, I want to earn lots of money. And it's not bad to start. You want to earn money, but you need to start defining the amount of money you want to earn. Because if not, you're going to be in this confusion state. And when it comes to measuring that goal, you will not be able to measure it because you don't know if it's happening or not. Now, achievable. When we talk about achievable, it's essential to know this one specifically. No matter its size, in your mind, you need to know that you can achieve it. Many people set up goals that are too easy to obtain. And it doesn't feel like you're getting something from it. You're not, it doesn't feel like you're growing. It's a flat goal that you can do at any time. And many people keep setting up these types of goals. And at the end, it doesn't feel good. And they end up, giving up because it wasn't something they thought or they gained anything from it. The better plan or the bigger plan, the bigger the plan, the better. And once you have established that, you can start thinking about how you can work toward it when it comes to abilities, resources. What else you need to add to the mix to make it happen? After achieving that, you will want to escalate to bigger ones, following this formula. And I'm going to put an example, a story, actually. I'm going to share a story with you, myself, a long time ago when I didn't even have or thought about personal development. I used to set up these little tiny goals. I'm not saying that setting up tiny goals are bad, but I was setting up goals that I knew I was going to obtain. So at the end, when I obtained the goal, it felt dull, boring. And I didn't want to set up any more goals because I didn't feel I was learning something different. And this happens to a lot of people. They set up things that they have been setting up each and every time, knowing that they can achieve it, but just put it there because they know it's something they can do. And as I said in the past, the bigger the goal, the better. Because you have to put yourself out there. You have to start opening your awareness to these new things. And the more you open up, the more the universe is going to bring more things to you. So keep in mind, when you're setting up goals, don't only go for the easy ones. Go for the big, hairy ones that you don't even have an idea how you're going to get it through. But definitely, once you obtain that goal, trust me, you are going to be far away from where you start. And remember what I talked about in other videos, that journey is going to be critical. And once you hit that goal, you're not going to stay there. You're going to go for big ones. You're going to go for bigger ones, taller ones, hairier ones. And guess what? Your growth is going to be a lot better and more exciting. So think about that. Now, coming back, because I went a little off, but I just wanted to bring this example so that you can get a little more meat from that bone, okay? Relevant, and this is something important because many people set up goals without identifying if it's pertinent to their purpose in life. To find out, it wasn't, and it was just something they thought about at the time. Maybe because someone else suggested that, and it happens a lot. We follow other people's advice, or they end up trying to accomplish or trying to live in someone else's goal, like their best friend or parents, becoming a real hassle in their lives. And this happens a lot, especially when it comes to our parents, our friends. I'm going to share a story with you for this specific relevance. A friend of mine who now I admire, and if he's watching this video, he will know who I'm talking about. We used to have some wonderful conversations about goals and dreams. And they fall into this category of relevance. They set up a goal about something that they was trying to obtain for a few months. The thing is, in the middle of it, they realized it wasn't something they wanted. And after analyzing the whole thing, they noticed that that dream that they were hitting or trying to go for was part of their best friend's goal. And it happens a lot. When it comes to parents, your parents might want to indulge you in going for a career that they wanted to study in the first place, but couldn't get to because of different circumstances, situations. They had you, etc., etc. And they wanted to live their dream through your life, your eyes. So they went ahead and tell you, you need to study this. And it happens a lot. And many parents, what they're going to say, this is best for you because I know what's best for you. But sometimes that can be a huge mistake. Ending up having a hassle in your life, being boring, being regrettable because you spent doing something that you didn't want, but you just wanted to please others. And it happens a lot. Now, timeline. Each goal needs a deadline, okay? And this needs to be set up. You can't set up a goal and says, no, I'm going to set up a goal. Okay, what's the time frame? Because you can't measure it. Remember the measurable part? So timeline. Each goal needs to have a deadline, giving you that sense of commitment and driving your focus on steps that start making those goals come forth. You're creating that spirit of motivation and urgency in your mind simultaneously. Because you set up that goal at a specific date, you start moving toward the accomplishment of that goal. Definitely. Now, it all depends on the size of the goal or the dream. Where you need to set the relevant deadlines. And this happens a lot. Many people set up goals, put in a short deadline when it's a huge goal. So when the time comes, guess what? The person gets angry, get disappointed because they wasn't able to obtain the goal. But the thing is, they set up the wrong deadline. So what happens in this case? And it can happen. You can set up a deadline and your goal didn't come true. Set up a new one. Set up a more relevant deadline to that goal. Because it can take a little more time. And if it's not coming true, then you need to start doing some tune-up to see exactly what is happening. It doesn't mean that the goal might not go through. It might mean that you might need to change the goal. Remember we talked about in the previous one? Maybe the goal you're hitting is not one that you really want to go for because your parents was the one who told you about this. So there are many factors that intertwine when it comes to goals. So this was the measurable, smart method. Now, I would recommend you to go over them once more, watch this video once more so that you can get a good idea of how this method works. Because when setting up a goal, you apply each of these steps and you will start to see those obstacles like golden nuggets happening that you will feel proud of or be proud of once you overcome them. Now, this is another one that is quite interesting. and is breaking down obstacles into smaller steps. And this goes relevant to the other video we talked about in the first. This would be like a second part of obstacles, because we tend to see everything as a whole. Okay, it happens a lot. Our brain works that way, creating that overwhelming scenario where you quit since it's too big, or it feels too complicated. Or in your mind, you picture your obstacles as a gigantic Everest. And instead of wanting to climb it, you want to run away from it. When you chunk down your obstacles into smaller, manageable pieces, you learn how to control them one step at a time. Advancing faster, creating that sense of commitment or accomplishment, which is the baby steps method, and encouraging you to keep going. Then you see them as little rocks along your journey. And when you look back, you will never believe you were making such a big fuss about all this. Okay? And a last step that we need to think about when it comes to not being alone, facing obstacles, is celebrate the wins. And this is something we forget a lot, even myself sometimes. We get caught up into the hustling side that we forget, or we forget to stop for a moment, relax, and recognize those accomplishments along the way, no matter the size, because it will motivate us to want to get more of it. Most importantly, reminding you your capabilities and the power to overcome those obstacles, one step at a time, makes you get closer to the final objective and will make you feel proud of yourself. Once you've implemented these steps, things will get easier in your path and mind at the same time, creating better habits. We also engage in increasing our awareness around obstacles, which is powerful. Some of those obstacles might not be overcome that easily and will take some time, but you can work around them until you find that alternative that will cause a significant breakdown. Remember that if you need some help, don't hesitate to contact your network that we talked about earlier. And if you need some reinforcements while going through this process of being alone and facing your obstacles, you can contact us right here. Leave us a comment, send us an email, and we are more than happy to assist you. Now, when you're alone, facing obstacles in your business, in your life, in your career, you're not alone. Don't think that. Unfortunately, many people has made wrong decisions that they cannot undo, affecting not only themselves, but affecting other people, their loved ones. And when people realize what happened, it was too late. So don't be that person. You're alone, in a space, in a situation. But that doesn't mean that you are necessarily alone, especially when confronting your obstacles in life. I just wanted to put this out there because of the many things that are going on in our life, in the media, in our environment. And sometimes we make the wrong choices. But think about the SMART method too. I would recommend you to watch this video over and over again and make sure that you can share this with someone that might be going through a difficult situation, that they are not feeling well, that they are getting overwhelmed with all the obstacles that are coming their way. Because sharing is caring. And remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and also let's join this community to increase the self-love and change one life at a time. For now, this was Jenny Jackson. I want to say thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, afternoon, wherever you are. This was Jenny Jackson. Thank you so much.